This is Manchester United we're talking about.
This is Man United we're talking about.
This is Manchester 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 United we're talking about.
Oh, this is Manchester United we're talking about.
It's Manchester United we're talking about. Manchester United we're talking about here.
This is Manchester United we're talking about.
This is Manchester United we're talking about.
This is Manchester United we're talking about.
I mean, this is Manchester United we're talking about.
This is Manchester United we're talking about.
This is Manchester United we're talking about.
It's Man United we're talking about. It's Man United we're talking about. It is Man United we're talking about. It's Manchester United we're talking about.
It's Man United we're talking about. This is Man United we're talking about.
It's Manchester United we're talking about.
We're talking about Manchester United.
Love people, this is Manchester United we're talking about. Make sure you smash the likes and subscribe. We've got bits of news. Mbeumo's second bid just come out as well, which is going to pretty much happen today. So this is big moves, and the next one will be revealed a little bit later on. Apparently we've opened Gyokeres talks again. I didn't see many people in the chat told me this Nico Shearer guy, if is that how you say his name, I don't even know what country he's even established in. I just seen his name pop up all throughout the summer transfer window, but allegedly that we have opened talks with Gyokeres. How much that fares, I don't know, but all I know is that Arsenal fans are not happy. And that's what makes me happy, that they're not happy. But they got Rodrigo stuff to go off at the moment. And then we've got this Anana Garnacho, who cares about that? And Mainoo likely to leave. I think it's, you know, can't really dismiss it. It's I'd be a hypocrite if I say it can't be true, but we'll break it down a little bit more and talk about it. And I'll, you know, some may not even like what I have to say about it, but it's you know, we got to move on as a club sometimes, and you can't have this, you know, these players taking a club for a ride if true. So yeah, anyone in here? What are you lot saying? Who's in here? We got Jarvis in here, says that was quick. Do you have Ben Jacobs on speed dial? Big up, Cass. Aye. Newfound friendships. What can we say? You know, you hold your hands up, you move on, and you don't block your blessings. IT Cass, I don't know about that. Yeah, love for that. Big up Count in the building as well. Lou, all the shit from Newcastle fans. I heard from Newcastle, and you'd think they'd surpass us because they won a shittiest trophy available. Aye, trophy's still a trophy. I mean, if we won that, I'd be celebrating myself. In inside though, not outside, not on a parade or nothing. But you know, inside, I'll be absolutely shameless. Different sense. Big up Quincy in the building as well. Hancho, Miles Villa of Roma. Is that the goalkeeper? Is that the goalkeeper? I'm pretty sure that's the goalkeeper. Big up Kevin Thomas in the building as well. And Atro, I am running back using Discord. Drop the link, please. Is anyone in here in the Discord? If you don't mind dropping the link. Actually, you know what? I might actually have it here quickly. How about that? I've got that on speed dial. There we go. So you can join up whenever you want. So yeah, man. That goalkeeper. Yeah, I'm not too fussed about that. But yeah, it came out recently with Ben Jacobs. Literally the last 5-ish minutes. He says Man United set to make an improved second bid for Brian Mbeumo. Let's just get this news out of the way. He says 45 million plus 10 million first offer now officially rejected by Brentford, but parties have remained in talks since. I think the question is how much is going to get this man over the line, for one. So I feel like we already know what it is. We spoke about this a lot in the last 2-3 days, and obviously that's because it's only just come out. I don't really need to put a lot of time into talking about how much he's going to cost, but one thing that we both know, I think by now, is that United are not going to spend the 70 million on this man. Easy as that. Is the 70 million talk is just crap. I don't think we even need to care about that too tough. So yeah, I think it's going to be 50 million. I think the next bid would be 50 million guaranteed and 10 million pretty much of bonus add-ons. It's going to be achievable ones. I think that's probably the smart move. I think if United move cheap, you know, you're just going to frustrate the other party, and you just want to get this done, because it was even said in another report from a little bit earlier saying that United want to get this one done rather quickly. Now, if United are trying to get a deal done rather quickly, it just tells me that they want to get moving on to another target, and probably the sales as well. But there's a sales team for that. So I'm not kind of fussed on that front. It's just the part where is this race for Gyokeres is, I think, is the next big thing for obviously Manchester United. So yeah, hold your beer on that part. But I'm still gassed. I'm getting boom, 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 and Mbeumo in the room. You know, like literally. Who would have thought? I have to do this every day. It's, you got to pinch me. You got to pinch me. That kind of hurt. You got to pinch me. It's like I don't know how it's gone from A to B so quickly, but we're here. We're living it. We're loving it. I just can see that left foot. I can see a curler. I just see a curler guy in top mids. Am I the only one that's envisioning this? It's just, I'm absolutely giddy about the Mbeumo signing. I just need to see the second bid incoming. It just needs to be official. I just don't want to see accepted. You know, it was says subject to a medical and personal terms. I need to see it. It needs to run up absolutely quickly, as soon as possible, basically. The more gas mode is today, the better, because these lot are probably going to want to go and do whatever they want to do over the weekend. So yeah, Eid Mubarak to everyone as well. I probably should have said that at the start. So yeah, hopefully you lot are all enjoying your days and so forth. And even if you're not a Muslim, you know, it's Friday, you know, relax a little bit. It's the weekend. Unless you're working, then it sucks to be you, aka myself. So yeah. Ahmad and then boom. Midfielder talk after. I think I would like to think so, Quincy. I'd like to think so. Because it's been really quiet on that front. And without us getting pulled in too many different directions of different players and different positions, it's kind of the social media narrative of at the moment what's being put out for the striker, and obviously right now, a lot of that's just been put to bed. So I would like to think that the midfield target's next. I think there's been soft launches of what Man United want, and I think that's quite obvious. So I feel like when it comes to the midfield targets, after Mbeumo's done, there's going to be, just expect a lot of Gyokeres links and Gyokeres reports, and maybe a sale report as well from Garnacho or whatever. So that's just my prediction. And then after, within all that that ruckus, you're going to probably find United are looking at a B C said midfielder. I do wonder who it is. I would like to know who it is, but that's the part of being patience is a virtue, right? Go get me Belabor. We're not getting Belabor. We're not getting Belabor. And we're definitely not getting Onana. And I definitely don't want that as a pivot either. Cass, I think Man United need defenders. I don't agree, no. I don't think we need defenders. It's a waste. For me, it's definitely a waste. Cass, what goalkeeper are we getting? At the moment, I just see Emi Martinez links. I don't know anything more than you. Osimhen will help us massively in winning a Premier League in 2 years. I mean, yeah, we're not getting Osimhen. Let's be real, man. We're not getting him. I don't know what kind of, unless he's like willing to restructure his wages, then yeah, amazing. But I don't see it. I feel like United's putting in too much work into flipping Gyokeres now, allegedly, to the point where I don't think we're going to go back on a second target. No, if he's keen, let's be real. Amram's going to want him. Come on. We have one game a week and like 5 to 6 centre backs. We don't need defenders. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's what I don't see. The only position United need in the defense right now is probably the middle centre back. But it's like, who is this middle centre back? Who can it be? It's just, I think it's. Who knows? I don't think this is a place where we should be focusing on defenders this window. Not at all. The only defensive position is technically wing back, even though it's not meant to be viewed as a wing back. So moving on from there, I'm fine with it. I like Yoro. I like Heaven. The low's okay. Mazraoui's very good. Maguire's a backup. I don't mind it. The Ligt, it's not the worst defense in the world when you deep it. Now, if you're going to go spend money and time and effort onto another defender, it's just a waste, isn't it? I think you can't get everything in one window. Let's see what happens in the next window. Maybe Branthwaite might be more available next year, and it could be a target for Ineos. Who knows? I don't know if he can do that role, but he'd be a target being English and everything. But they're definitely decent. I'm keen, innit? I'm keen to see who that target will be next year. I just don't know. Because obviously Maguire's not going to get a new deal. I think Delo will end up getting sold. I think this is his final year. And yeah, I agree as well. The centre-back market is shocking. It's nothing short of shocking, is it? It's nothing short of shocking at the moment. Everyone's got potential with this Bissek. You know, Bastoni's not going to move anywhere from Inter Milan. Italians rarely move. I would love Bastoni, though. That's a dream move. Imagine going to get Bastoni and you say, yeah, you know what you're going to do? I'm going to put you on the left. I'm going to put Heaven in the middle. Love. Thiago Ribeiro from Lille is a very good defender. I don't know anything about him. So yeah, man. But talking, big up Yusuf in the building. Grace, nice to see you. Do you think Cunha and Mbeumo and Gyokeres and a goalkeeper will be up there challenging? What do you mean? Manchester United challenging next year? Do you mean that Manchester United? Are you talking? You're not talking about FC Manchester or? I don't think it's this club that you're talking about. Diamande, I'm not too. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not keen on him at all. I'm really not keen on him. Eid Mubarak Halimi, Vivel and Wilcox will probably be told this season. Yeah, can't really see that. This season, go find us the next great centre back. Yeah, more than likely. But this is what I was going to go on to, and I'm going to try to find the full report. But from Nico Shearer, where his name is, he says Manchester United are ready to open talks with Viktor Gyokeres, who is ready to leave Sporting for. See, this is what I mean about the price, by the way, which gets me very confused. 65 million euros. What happened to 70 million euros? What is this man's price? Every day is changing. Honestly, 65 million euros is now 56 million quid or something, or 57 million quid. Might be even 55. So either way, it doesn't matter. 55 to 60 million. I mean, someone has to be lying. It is 65, so maybe this is something credible then. If it's 65, then how do United not take this opportunity? We just saw our PSR results, right? And I know you need to sell and you need to get rid of first teamers and make your money and make sure you're good. But how is it in a day and age where Alejandro Garnacho is worth 50 million quid, but Gyokeres, one of the top number 9s in the world, is worth pretty much the same, 55 million? It's a no-brainer at this point. And you can tell that Amram really wants him. And you know what? A part of me wants to believe that Gyokeres kind of wants United as well, because there's not really much legs work with Arsenal going in for him. It just seems like it's all Tesco's got, every little helps, right? So if they want to go and get him and no one's going to go in for this guy, it's like a free run. And I know there's a lot of people not keen on him, but you just got to think what we could potentially go towards. Will he work out? Will he not work out? I mean, 55 million quid, you're not going to cry over that, are you? But for me, he's instantaneously better than what we've got. With the striker market being the way it is, a lot of these number 9s can't finish. And that's the most annoying part, is that the fact they can't finish. Look, Benjamin Sesko, yeah, he's not the worst player in the world. He's a good player. I'll admit that wholeheartedly, but he's not a good finisher. Ekatike, not a good finisher. I'm sorry, but I've seen the lap. He's not that great of a finisher either, but I do believe he's got potential to be cracked in when it comes to the finishing part. I just don't like how he's like Bambi and all. This is why I didn't want him. He's always he's always falling all over the place. I can't stand it. So as much as it's nice, I don't see anyone complain. And I'm going to keep saying it. I don't see Man City fans talking about how Haaland's shit because he can't link up the play correctly. Does simple passes, simple link ups, and he goes and finishes it. I would like to think Gyokeres is nearly in the same bracket of finishing as someone like Haaland. For me, I think Haaland's definitely elite. He's the best finisher probably on the planet when it comes to in on goal. And he does, and also he misses. Even he's human. So yeah, for me, one thing that we've lacked at Man United is, them strikers that are back post willing to finish. How many times did we see any of our players at the back post willing to finish in our attack? Not many. They're too busy hanging outside. So yeah, this is why I want a number 9, like a proper one. United screams number 9s, and we never get it correct. So hopefully this one is correct. For me, I don't think even if Gyokeres was to have a drop in the Premier League, I'd like to think he still gets quite a handful amount of goals to help us. And we can't really expect a player that comes from outside the Premier League to just bang just like that anyways. It's kind of a rare case. But we'll see. We've seen Jackson get 12 goals in the Premier League. So why on earth would I think that Gyokeres couldn't do it either? 12 goals. Gyokeres should be getting 15 then. As long as we get everything else correct, then sure. Go on, Unshakable. Cass, I have to be honest, bro. Behind the scenes, I reckon terms are already agreed with Gyokeres. I believe so as well. It's just getting the money together, which will be the issue at the moment. Cass, apparently different clubs have different starting price points for him. So like United's one is lower than, say, an Arsenal. A bit strange, though. My thing with Arsenal, I think when it comes down to Gyokeres, I do believe maybe his personal terms might be a bit of a put-off, aka why they want to go for the financially more responsible version and going to go get Sesko. I don't think they want to spend 250s on players. And if they're going to do it, it's going to be for someone like Rodrigo. But for me, I think United are willing to make him probably, in Ineos's reign, probably the most paid player. That's just the way I look at it. Unnecessary Jackson stray. Well, I don't care. He's not a great number 9, is he? I think if we're going to sign Gyokeres, then no, we're hoping that will happen only in July because financial year and stuff, and we need to get ourselves by then. No, we're fine. We're fine. You can still get everything agreed, though, don't you think, Mamba? A little bit. You can get everything agreed. It's just the registering part is a little bit different. Like we can get here we go for Gyokeres tomorrow, but it doesn't mean you have to register him. So, I would hear that, except the fact that them man have Havertz and Jesus on their books. Exactly why but you got deep it. This is exactly what I'm saying. Jesus is on something like 250. Havertz is on something like 275. So imagine they bring in another player that's on around 250 again. That's taking up a space when they got someone like that sitting on the bench. This is why I reckon they don't want to go for Gyokeres as much, is because they've already got players in those positions on top wages at the moment. So yeah, that's the way. I think that might be actually the case. That might actually be the case, even though I think you should do it regardless and then get rid of one of those players next year. Then yeah, that's up to them. If they want to go and squabble about wages and and they want to go say, you know what, we go get the potential, be my guest. Yeah, we did it with Agate. We agreed everything. Sold McTominay and got him through. Yeah, exactly. Just the green light, really. Gyokeres said he's happy living in Lisbon. I mean, I'd be happy living in Lisbon as well. I mean, it's a beautiful city from what I can tell. Why are people angry that City got Cherky while we're getting Mbeumo? It doesn't make any sense to me. You know what it is? It's because Cherky's 21 and he's teched off the planet. That's why. I mean, we got Mbeumo, yeah, great, yeah, but Cherky's ceiling is insane. I mean, we're not in the place to get your Cherkies at the moment, I suppose. But he's insane. I'm not gonna lie. He's just getting better and better with age, and so it's just that's just another thing. Big up Jester, I see who you are. I don't know if you noticed, but I thanked you for suggesting me to a gal for a raid. Big ups, you guys are real ones. Yeah, love for that. No, always good. Big up everyone. How many we got? We got nearly 500 in the house as well. So if you don't mind, we're on 118 likes. So that makes a change, doesn't it? If anyone wants to join the Discord and be active in there with the rest of us, then the link's there too. Can we get to 200 likes if you don't mind? If we get to 200 likes, then I'm a happy man. But yeah, look, I'm pretty sure there'll be more updates about Gyokeres later on, and it's probably going to be recycled news. I think everything's focused on Mbeumo at the moment. Now, if we sort of hear that we're going to go in for talks and personal terms, but I don't think that's the case. I think it's a little bit like Cunha. Before he got even here we go, there was murmurs about the Mbeumo and in talks with Mbeumo's camp. If we get one of those, that kind of tells me that the Mbeumo deal is kind of wrapped up already, because of what happened with Cunha. And I think it's going to come from sources like your Muppeteers. So if we watch out for that, I don't think we're going to hear much more past today, really, or Saturday max latest. And even then, it's staff are usually off and they're enjoying their time. Like they got to go live their lives. So yeah, Monday. I do reckon Monday we'll probably hear some more Gyokeres stuff. I can't see it personally. I don't think we need to be too greedy, but when you get something amazing and then you get another bit of dopamine later on, you just want to keep the dopamine rolling. But unfortunately, that always ends. Today or tomorrow, we'll get him from Ornstein or Romano that if it's a done deal, then a move to Gyokeres. Yeah, maybe. That could literally be the report. Like the here we go or the bomber, and it's like, United will focus on talks with you know, Gyokeres. So yeah, I think he transforms everything. I can't wait. I need it. We deserve it as well. I say that because I'm biased. Right, let me do this as well. Give me a sec. Oh, lovely. Oh my god! I just nearly ended the stream. I'm an absolute idiot. I'm an absolute idiot. I can't lie. There's a conversation about Mason Mount. Let me read this correctly. I just saw Mason Mount and I nearly got rattled. I'm going to read this correctly. Okay, let me read this. Get your questions in, people, by the way. I'm going to answer them because we're going to talk about this Mainoo stuff a little bit in depth. It's quite concerning, but yeah, we must break this down correctly. Let's have a conversation about Mason Mount. Does he get moved this summer? But if we get starting 10s, Mbeumo and Cunha, then we have Ahmad, Xerxes, Mainoo, and Bruno. Does Mount play? My take on Mason Mount would be that he will be in the squad. I don't like the fact that he's number 7. If he gave up number 7, then that tells me the man's focus. If he keeps number 7, it tells me he's just an egocentric prick. But then again, who's given up their number that they requested? You can do it. We've seen players do it before. Antonio Valencia did it, so doesn't mean Mason Mount can't do it, right? I mean, I think in the summer, I think the way it's going to be looked at is literally player for player. So if you look at the squad, just the squad, you go and get, let's say, Gyokeres, right? Xerxes will be classed as the second striker. If you go and get Mbeumo and you go and get Cunha as well, which we do have, then the other 2 10s that are going to be back up, in my eyes, would probably be Mainoo, I think, for next season, and not as an 8. And then the other one would be not Ahmad, because I think Ahmad can be viewed as a right wing, as a wing back. So in terms of that, you might be correct because of the low, so he might be viewed as the second wing back. But I do believe it is Ahmad on that side. So then that means there's a space for someone like Mason Mount. That means already that 6 is already like it's already concluded. So that's the space. I don't really see how he leaves this year, especially when you think of Man United. And this is what I think with the concern is with like Ineos and so forth and blah, 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 is that have United got enough homegrown in the team that's counted towards the league? So that's why I say when you're looking at players right now, in the squad itself, there's obviously quite a few British players or homegrown players, but on the field, yeah, they're going to have to. That's why I don't see someone like Mason Mount moving on. Who have we got at the moment there? There's Cobby, Mount, Maguire. That's why I reckon I'm being dead serious. That's the reason why I think Maguire stayed. I'm struggling here. We got Luke Shaw basically still there, count as homegrown. So that's 4. And he's not even going to get game times. But he's going to be registered, isn't he? So that's why I reckon United go for English players next summer. Who else have we got? We got Hayden Heaven. That's 5. Rashford. Don't get me wrong. We got Rashford, Sancho, and that, but they're going to be shifted. So that don't matter. How many do you need? 8. Cheeto's class as an academy. He's not counted as homegrown yet. Like in the squad, you have to do 3 years post that. Kind of struggling. Tom Heaton. That's 6. I think you need about 8, if I'm correct. Do you need about 8? I think you need about 8. So. Yeah, I will see anyways. Collier, maybe. Yeah, maybe that's 8. That's why I reckon he probably stays. I really like Collier. You lot disrespect him a lot. Yeah, I think it's 8 home. Yeah, I think we're just about cutting it thin at the moment. Do you reckon we'll do the 2 quickest deal this window in Cunha and Mbeumo and stall because of sales? That's actually, you know what? In my opinion, I think that could be something. That could literally be something. Like you saw Agate last year. I think someone said it earlier in the chat. So when we saw that Agate was accepted and the deal was being made, it's just the green light was taking quite a long time, and that's because we needed to sanction some sort of sales on the books, so aka your Sancho leaving for the obligation, because you can put that towards that. And obviously, so for me, it's a little bit, it's a little bit like one of those maybe. But, you know, United can make a heavy loss because of the whole, you know, Jim Ratcliffe putting in cash into the club, injecting it, which helps PSR stuff. So I don't think we have an actual issue with actually getting Gyokeres over the line at the moment. It's just that you do want to keep it balanced. And if United do believe that, you know, you can go and sell Rashford, you can go and sell these other players, then I'm pretty sure you can get the green light with all these other teams. So that's, and I do believe you might have to, as someone even said it earlier about the July stuff, to register them, it has to be, it's going to be past July. Florentino Luis, you know what? He was a wonder kid at one point. He's definitely a very good clamper of the ball, but he's not someone that you want to pick up the ball off of your defense. He's a bit suspect on that notice. So yeah, but moving on to this Kobbie Mainoo stuff, right? For me, it's just something needs to happen soon, isn't it? With this kid, he needs to go and be the talent that everyone's hyped him up to be. I don't think he hasn't had his greatest year, but no one in the team has had their greatest years. You know, the only ones that can hold their heads high from last year, for me, tell me if I'm wrong, is probably Mazraoui, is probably Euro. I think De Ligt had a decent campaign for himself, could have done a little bit better. Obviously, there's Heaven, but he's only been there for a short time. And notice that I'm talking about a lot of these defenders. When it comes to the attack, I think Xerxes, for what he went through, I think, yeah, cool. I think he can say that's a decent opening campaign for himself in adapting. But in terms of numbers, absolutely shite. Maybe Bruno can hold his head high a little bit. But even then, and then obviously Amad Diallo, because obviously it was kind of his breakthrough. But bar that, it's like the rest of the team has been nothing short of shit. If we're keeping it a buck, nothing short of arse and cheeks. With Mainoo, the thing is, what tells me that he wants to be at United is the fact that only yesterday it was talking about how there's been positive talks with his contract, right? His contract stuff. So I'm thinking, okay, that's one report. And then obviously Mel Sport comes out and says that, you know, he's likely to leave. Now, that's not concrete. That just sounds like an opinion piece. I didn't even get to read the article and who even said it. But if that's an opinion piece, then that's just an opinion piece. It's nothing factual. And it's easy to sell because it's like, oh, you know, Anana likely to leave, Mainoo likely to leave. But what's the reason for him to likely to leave? My biggest issue with him is what you said, Khabib, is literally his fitness. If his fitness is to get, you know, up its game, and I do believe he needs a slim, you know, he does need to watch what he eats a little bit, or how much he trains, or whatever it may be. I'm pretty sure he eats very well, but he's very muscular character. You know, if you know anyone that's typically Ghanaian, they are they are built. Do you know what I mean? They are typically built. They're monsters, muscular monsters. When it comes to their genes, that's nuts. But with him, if he's going to do the strength and conditioning, if he's going to keep on going and furthering his career, then that tells me that's someone that's willing to knuckle down and you know, and get a move on. And if you are Kobbie and you're seeing better players come into the team and the side, I don't think he's a scrub, like in terms of IQ. It's just that, you know, when good ballers are coming through the door and ballers want to play with ballers. I don't know where else he would go because he's not going to be free. But if someone comes in for Kobbie and says, oh, you know what? I'm going to go and I will give you 100 million for Kobbie Mainoo right now. I'm taking it. I'm taking it. He does need to learn. But I think, like, right, if Man United build correctly this summer, especially, you're going to see a much better Kobbie Mainoo because he's got better players around him. And this is what I've always kind of suggested. I've got a feeling he's a bit of a luxury player. And that doesn't mean he's crap. It's just that he's a player that you need to build around because he lacks, you know, certain other qualities. And if you want to enhance his qualities, you need the correct players around him regardless. It does look like he's becoming a bit of a luxury. And I don't mind that. It's just that have United got all the minerals in the tank to build, you know, to build that luxury? We haven't done our youngsters service at any point. You know, literally since Adnan Januzaj, maybe even since Phil Jones, Chris Smalling, even when they were youngsters, if people remember. You know, I don't see us, you know, I don't think we've developed anyone correctly in that's been young. At the moment, Euro and Heaven are looking like they could develop into something, you know, very talented and very successful. But that's defenders. When it comes to these attackers, unless you're naturally gifted like Mason Greenwood was, then obviously the trajectory around United's always been on a downfall. So it's just, I don't know. I could kind of see him leaving in a version, but if he thinks he's going to get a bad boy wage at Chelsea, then guess again, because Chelsea are not going to put you on some crazy wages. Chelsea are built different now. You know, Cole Palmer gets 140 grand per week. And this is why I say the reports are stupid. What do you think? What do you think Chelsea are going to give you more than 140 grand per week? What, with a fee that's going to cost you more than 40 million? See, that's why I don't understand it. You know, maybe he has a different role, and you look at where Kobe plays, right? What? You're going to get in over Enzo Fernandez right now, or Andre Santos, or Cole Palmer in the 10. Let alone if they go get Kudus who can play in the 10. You're not getting over that. Because if you've got Caicedo, Palmer, and Mainoo in a team, that's not great balance, in my opinion. So that's why I say, for me, it doesn't make any sense to go to Chelsea. And why I'd say, if you're in his camp and you're looking at that midfield, what's the best situation for your player? With Mainoo, he needs someone like Declan Rice next to him. Now, I see Palhinha links. If you go get Palhinha and then you got someone like Kobe Mainoo, that as a pivot works. For me, that works. Because he's got someone that's got legs behind him, you know, dangly long legs, like 6'5" Palhinha, right? That's defensively secure and that can definitely cover a lot of ground for his height. So yeah, and then Mainoo works where he can drive up the field because he's got someone secure behind him. That's it with Mainoo. I do believe he can play the 8. It's just that he needs someone behind him that's absolutely solid that can do what he can't do. But he does. I was talking with Rance, if you missed it a little bit early, is that he does need to find. It needs to find within himself, you know, that part to learn to know what to do on the pitch. Because when it comes to the IQ of what to do on the pitch, he's kind of lacking at the moment. It's like he's still trying to, you know, learn the midfield role, which is difficult because he's not naturally a midfielder. So yeah, I think he has been quite complacent, but I agree with you. It does seem so, but it's unfair because the whole team has been rubbish. It's so easy to delve into a ball of shite when everybody else is shite. And you can't shine, especially when we've got one of the worst midfields in the whole entire league. What's this? Give me a sec. I need 3 more people. Do you think Raul Batista... how much is Cardoso going for? 30 million? I saw. Is it 30 million? No. You know what? Good luck trying to get Anthony. If they can get him, then I don't really care. Just give us our money, innit? That's all I would say. Give us our money for the guy. Kante was quick. Yep, he was. Palhinha on loan will be the best deal for United. Well, you know what? When I saw this whole Palhinha stuff, I thought this was rubbish. And I thought, like, who's saying this? And then I'm seeing, is it CF Bayern or Pletigo? One of them came out and said that he's available for something like 30 million euros. Which is something similar that United should have done when he was leaving Sporting. Fulham got him for 18 million pounds. Now he's turning 30. It's like, cool. There's a bit of experience there. Portuguese, he knows the league as well. He done very well in the league. He's not slowing down. He doesn't rely on pace exactly either. So that's the best part about Palhinha. He's very good at collecting the ball. He does draw a lot of fouls. You know, there's a lot of yellow cards. But for me, it's just... can United take advantage? There was reports before, about 2 weeks ago, or even about a week and a half ago, saying that United may be looking into the loan market or the transfer window of that to, you know, address certain situations. Now, if Douglas Luiz and Palhinha are available, then you've got two great players that have been in the Prem that have done their jobs correctly and literally wowed a lot of us to say, "Oh, that's a good player." You know, surely you bring them in because a loan means you can wait until next year at the very least. And you know what? I'd give him a loan with an option. I think that's probably Man United's best situation. How can you say Kobe Mainoo is lacking in footballing IQ? Because I watch him every single week when he does play or when he gets his 10 minutes or when he gets his 60 minutes, right? And when it comes to the middle of the field, he's lacking IQ. When it comes to attacking and going like on the left-hand side of attacking, he looks like he knows what he's doing. Just because you're talented does not mean you've got mad footballing IQ. On the field, like reading of the game could improve a lot. Still no ball playing midfielder links. Yeah, but Palhinha can be a ball playing midfielder. What we doing here? He done it for Fulham. So I don't know what you mean about there's still no ball playing midfielders. I mean, Douglas Luiz is a ball playing midfielder, but yeah, we haven't exactly got any links with the midfield yet, and then we get stupid comments like this. How can you look like a fraud when, as a director of football, you bring in Cunha and Mbeumo and you're looking at Gyokeres? How can that be frauded? That's just a stupid comment. I can't lie. We need to stop going in for failed players at other clubs that it never works. I mean, what's this? Personal terms? Where's this? I ain't seen that. I haven't seen none of this, by the way. Apparently, United are set, according to Disco Mirror, which is bollocks anyways, 55 plus 5. Yeah, it still makes up 60, so I don't care. Where is this? It's not a ridiculous statement. It's not recency bias either. He's had 2 injuries just this season. Done. Relax on the kid. I'm not. What do you mean relax on the kid? I can constructively criticize him, and that doesn't exactly mean, you know, relax on the kid. I don't want him to leave. But I did say when it comes to the reading of the game, which is your IQ, he lacks. Just because he doesn't have it now does not mean he can't get it, because he can learn. That's how it works in football. You're not the best. So you are lacking an IQ in that department, which we definitely need. Man United. Oh, God, man. Who says this? Disco Mirror. Yeah, give it a rest. Disco Mirror, you know. Disco Mirror. Yeah, I don't really see that. But if I'll be interested to see. I'd definitely be interested to see what this wage is, because when it's not 250, did he send me the link? Because I don't remember him saying that. Send me the link, Kabi. Put your money where your mouth is. Yeah, I don't see anything. But Disco Mirror, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not trying to see that. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I see. I'm literally trying to search now. Nah, I ain't really seen much out of that, to be fair. Mainoo's a good player, but his limitations, yeah, man. His ways. Anyways, anything new that comes out later, then I'm gonna be all over it. But other than that, what likes are we on? We're on 213. If anyone wants to join the Discord, let me know right now. Let me know right now if you want a Discord. It's going in 3, 2, 1. There we are. We're going to talk a little bit more in depth on Never a Foul. So if anyone wants to join over there, then big up to yourselves. Interbid for Rashford. I ain't seen that yet. So I don't know where you're getting these. Are you looking on? You might be looking on, what's it called? What's that called now? That News Now. I ain't seen none of that. But anyways, I'm going over to Never a Foul. So catch me there. Big up to anyone in the building if you're just catching me now. So yeah, man, big up to yourselves. Like the video on the way out. I'm going to be apparently bid made undisclosed. Wait, hold on. Where's this? Rashford Inter. I've seen they've entered a race. That was 3 days ago, though. I haven't seen no bid. Whatever source that is, yeah. But I'm going over to Never a Foul. So yeah, I'm gonna head over there.